Okay, so I want to do a quick video here on the i3d exporter tools, where to get it from, download it and get it installed. So I need to go to the GitHub page for this. This is for Blender 2.8 and upwards. So if you're running 2.79, then go to the Giants Developer Network, download that version. If you're running 2.8 and upwards, then I would recommend this version. So go to the browser of your choice and type in there i3d exporter GitHub. And then the first result that comes up, click on that. And then I would recommend to come over to the releases tab here, or releases section. Don't do this. Come over here, click on that one there, and it will take you to the release versions. This will give you all of the versions that are available to download. So then you just basically identify what version of Blender that you're running and download the appropriate version that's going to work with the version of Blender that you've got. I am actually running 2.92 full release version. This does say 2.91, but I know that this does work with 2.92 perfectly fine. At least as far as what I've used within the i3d export tools works perfectly fine. There's a few bits here to do with bug fixes and whatever else. I would recommend to read through all of the different things. So on this page here, the first page you come to, I would recommend to read through at least some of this stuff here. There are some videos showing you different things with the i3d export tools. You can check those out, and there's some instructions here to install it and whatever else, and things like that. I would recommend to read through this, but otherwise, just go to the releases page and then just download the version that you want. So I'm going to choose this one and go to here, download it. Now I've already downloaded this and put it on my desktop. So choose the location, click save, and you're good to go. Once you've finished with that, you can close that down. You don't need to extract this, you just leave it as a zip file wherever you've put it, and then open up your version of Blender. As I say, I'm running 2.92. So once you've opened up Blender, go Edit, Preferences, and then just click Install. Go to wherever you've downloaded the i3d export tools, double click it, and it will then install it. Once it's installed, you need to activate it. So you put a tick in the box. This is now activated. You save your preferences. There's a couple of other things here that need to be added as well, additionally to this. So the first one here is the FS data folder. This is the farm sim data folder, which has got all of the information. So this is basically, if you go to your farm sim 2019 installation location, it's this folder here. And that contains all of the stuff to do with the game, basically. So, shaders and things like that. This requires the i3d export tools requires this to locate things, shaders and whatever else, shader parameters and things like that. So all you need to do is just click on a little folder here, go to wherever you've got it installed, and then click accept, and it will put the file name in here. When you first do this, if you have not done it before, or if you have done it and it didn't work or whatever else, you might find that you are like this. So the XML library will show element tree, and this will work, but there are some extra things within the LXML library, and this is the preferred version for the i3d export tools, because as it says there, it's an external library with more functionality. So basically, to get that, it will not install that by default. To get that, what you need to do is, once you've got this far and you've saved everything and you've saved your preferences, it's all up and running, you need to close down Blender, don't save it. Then you need to go to your shortcut, wherever that might be, right click on it and run it as an administrator. And click yes here, you want to run it as administrator. Now this has given the add-on administrative privileges. It will then automatically download, or if it hasn't already, it might be downloaded already when you downloaded the actual add-on itself. But irregardless, whichever way, it will now automatically add the LXML library. You probably will still need to come in here and activate it. So if you come into here and it still says element tree, then you need to click on the little drop down here and change it to LXML, and that will then allow certain extra functionality of the i3d export tools to work. Once you've done that, you can just click Save Preferences, close it down, and reopen it again as normal. Now, I'd recommend to do that. Don't run it as administrative privileges all the time. It's not required. So once you've done all of that, you are now up and running. You have the i3d export tools all installed and up and running. So now I can just basically add in whatever I want here. File, export, i3d. Once you go to export it, you're given various different options here. So you can export everything, an active collection, an active object, or selected objects. So if you've got multiple objects selected, you can select, export all of the ones you have selected, and so on and so on. Choose whichever one's relevant to you, and then, do that, and then check or check whichever's relevant there. Same with all of these, just click on them. So if you don't want any cameras, just deselect it and things like that. I just generally leave all of these active, to be honest with you. And then delete them in Giants Editor. But the ones that I would recommend to deactivate are the debug options. These are just files that aren't relevant to you personally, I wouldn't imagine. This is for the developers, so they can see what's happening with the export process, and if there's any errors or issues, they can look through the coding or whatever else to see what's gone on. But I would recommend not to export those unless you have perhaps maybe an error that's not working, something's not working properly, and you want to report that on the GitHub page. You might require these files to upload or whatever else. But for general usage, I wouldn't export those out, because it's just extra files that are going to clutter up everything, and more than likely end up just being deleted anyway. So once you've done that, you just click export, and it will just tell you how long it's taken, and it's successful. Now we've got our cube exported, and we can open it up in the Giants Editor. Done. Excellent. So that's pretty much all I wanted to do there. Just a real quick video to show you how to get everything installed and up and running for the i3d Exporter Tools GitHub version, whatever the version might be relevant to the version of Blender that you're using. I'm Shell Wizard. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.